Welcome to the lecture series on digital signal processing. In this lecture, I am going to discuss about the classification of signals. So here it is the learning outcome of this lecture. After successful completion of this lecture, you will be able to analyze the different discrete time signals. You will be able to analyze the discrete time signals. So here it is the classification of discrete time signals. So the discrete time signals are classified into deterministic and random signals. Next one is energy and power signals, periodic and aperiodic signals, symmetric and anti-symmetric signals, which is also called as even and odd signals. Symmetric and anti-symmetric signals, which is also called as even and odd signals. So last one is causal and non-causal signals. These are the classification of discrete time signals. So coming to the deterministic and random signals. So what is a deterministic signal? A signal whose values can be predicted. A signals whose values can be predicted without any uncertainty is called deterministic signal. The examples are sinusoidal, unit step function and ramp signal, etc. So coming to the random signal. So a signal whose nature is uncertain. A signal whose nature is uncertain is called random signal. The example is noise. Coming to energy and power signal. So we have the discrete time signal x of n. The energy of the discrete time signal x of n is defined as the energy E is equals to limit n tends to infinity sigma n is equals to minus n2 plus n mod x of n whole square. So this can be also represented as E is equals to sigma n equals to minus infinity to plus infinity mod x of n whole square. So the energy of the signal x of n is defined as E is equal to sigma n equals to minus infinity to infinity mod x of n whole square. Similarly, the power P of the x of n is given by limit n tends to infinity 1 by 2n plus 1 sigma n equals to minus n to n mod x of n whole square. So P is equals to limit n tends to infinity 1 by 2n plus 1 sigma n equals to minus n to plus n mod x of n whole square. So based upon these two values, and E value and P value, the signal is said to be energy or power signal. That is, if E is finite for this signal x of n and power P is equals to 0, then the signal is said to be energy. Then the signal is said to be energy signal. And as well as if P is finite, then energy E equals to infinity, then the signal is said to be power signal. So what it is? For energy signal, E is finite and P equals to 0, as well as for power signal, P is finite and E is infinite. See here, for energy signal, E is finite and P is 0. For power signal, power is finite, energy E is infinite. Okay. All finite duration defined signals are energy signals only. All finite duration defined signals are energy signals. If signal S of n equals to 0, if signal S of n is equals to 0 as n tends to plus or minus infinity, then it is energy signal. And as well as all the periodic signals are power signals only. All the periodic signals are power signals only. So coming to the next classification, periodic and aperiodic signals. Periodic and aperiodic signals or non-periodic signal. So when the signal is said to be, that is when the signal x of n is said to be periodic with period capital N and if and only if x of n plus n is equals to x of n for all values of n. If x of n is equals to x of n plus capital N, the capital N is represented as the period with period, fundamental period. So then the signal is said to be periodic signal. If it is not equal, then the signal is said to be aperiodic signal. So smallest value of n for which equation 1 holds is called fundamental period or sampling period. What it is? Fundamental period or sampling period, that is capital N. So if there is no value of n that satisfies the equation 1, if there is no value of n that satisfies equation 1, then it is said to be aperiodic signal. Then the signal is said to be aperiodic signal. Or here the condition does not satisfy, that signal is said to be aperiodic only. Okay. So here the coverage power of a periodic signal is equal to the average power over a single period. Average power over a single period, that is power P is equals to 1 by n, sigma n equals to 0 to n minus 1, that is over one period, mod x of n whole square. Where n is, we know that is fundamental period of the signal x of n. So how to find the fundamental period? How to find the fundamental period of the given signal? So here I am considering the sinusoidal signal, that is x of n is equal to a sin omega naught n plus theta. We know that omega naught n is the fundamental frequency of x of n. We know omega naught is equal to what? Omega naught is equal to 2 pi f, right? So here x of n is equal to a sin omega naught n plus theta. So for that, what will be the fundamental period? How to find the fundamental period of the signal x of n? So here it is a condition to find the fundamental period of the signal x of n, that is omega naught by 2 pi is equals to m by capital N. Omega naught by 2 pi is equals to m by capital N. That is, we have to apply the condition for periodicity. We know the signal satisfies this condition, then only the signal is said to be periodic. So the same will be applied for this signal. So that is x of n plus capital N is equals to, that is nothing but a sin omega naught of n plus capital N plus theta. Then it is a sin omega naught n plus omega naught capital N plus theta. So then these two, here if the signal is periodic, when omega naught n is equals to 2 pi m, where m is an integer. So then the signal is said to be periodic if omega naught n is equals to 2 pi m. So from that only omega naught by 2 pi is equals to m by capital N. So where m can be any integer value. Okay, where m can be any integer value. So if m by n is rational, then the given signal x of n is periodic with fundamental period capital N. Otherwise, if it is irrational, then the signal is said to be aperiodic signal. So here are the examples for finding the period of the given signals. So in that first example, find the period of the signal x of n is equals to 24 sin 6 pi by 3 n plus 60 degrees. It is in the form of a sin omega naught n plus theta. So it is in the form of a sin omega naught n plus theta, right? So here omega naught is equals to, I am comparing these two, omega naught is equals to 6 pi by 30. So what is the condition to find the fundamental period? So that is omega naught by 2 pi. Omega naught is equal to 6 pi by 13. So by 2 pi, 1 by 2 pi, which is equals to 3 by 13, which is equal to m by capital N. So here m is equals to 3 and capital N equals to 13. So then capital N is equals to what? 13 is the fundamental period of the given signal x of n. So here it is the signal x of n, given signal x of n is periodic with the fundamental period of n is equals to 13. Right? In the second example, determine whether the following signals are periodic or not. So whether the following signals are periodic or not. So if those are periodic, what is the period? If the periodic signal, then what will be the period? So first one will be x of n is equals to e power j 6 pi n. Okay, so it is in the form of e power j omega naught n. So the signal x of n is in the form of e power j omega naught n. So from that, omega naught is equals to what? 6 pi. Omega naught is equal to 6 pi. So we have the condition to find the fundamental period, that is omega naught by 2 pi is equals to what? Omega naught by 2 pi equals to 6 pi by 2 pi, which will be equals to 3 by what? Nothing but small m by capital N. So from that, 3 is the rational number. 3 by 1. It is 3 is the rational number. So x of n is periodic, and then if it is periodic, what will be the fundamental period? That will be n equals to 1. N equals to 1 is the period of x of n. That is the first one. So in the next one, x of n is equals to e power j 3 by 5 into n plus 1 by 2. Okay. So here it is in the form of x of n is equals to e power j omega naught plus pi form. From that, omega naught is equals to what? Omega naught is equals to 3 by 5. So here we have the formula omega naught by 2 pi. Omega naught by 2 pi is equals to 3 by 5 by 2 pi. So which will be equals to 3 by 10 pi. 3 by 10 pi, which will be m by capital N. So then since 3 by 10 pi is irrational. So x of n is non-periodic signal, because 3 by 10 pi is irrational, so that it is non-periodic signal. So here in this one we have seen only for one fundamental period. Okay. So in the next case, if there are number of fundamental periods, see omega 1 and omega 2, combination of the different sinusoidal signals, how to find the fundamental period for this combined signal? Okay, combined sinusoidal signal, that is addition of all the sinusoidals, that is x of n. Okay, so in this case, so here it is the process to find the period. So a1 sin omega 1 t plus theta 1 is the periodic with n1. Next case, a2 sin omega 2t theta 2 is the period with n2. There I am considering the period n1 and n2 for different sinusoidals. Similarly, for nth sinusoidal it will be considered as nn. Like that. So now we have to calculate n1 by n2 and n1 by n3 and n1 by nn are rational. Then LCM of n1, n2, n3 and so on nn will use the overall period of the given signal x of n. So what it will be? First we have to consider the fundamental periods of the individual signals. So first one will be n1, second one will be n2 and so on. Last one will be nn. Then we have to find n1 by n2, n1 by n3, so on, n1 by nn. So if it is rational, then we have to find the LCM of n1, n2, n3 and so on, nn. That will use the overall period of the signal x of n. Okay. So here it is the example for finding the period of the signal x of n. So determine whether the following signal is periodic or not. So here the signal x of n is equals to what? So x of n is equals to cos pi by 3n plus cos 3 pi by 4n. So it is in the form of cos omega 1n plus cos omega 2n. So for example, just omega n is equals to what? Omega n equals to pi by 3. This is omega 1. Omega 1 equals to pi by 3. Omega 1 by 2 pi is equals to what? Pi by 3 by 2 pi, which will be 1 by 6. So this will be the fundamental period. Here it is the fundamental period for the first signal. First sinusoidal will be n1 equal to 6. The fundamental period for the first sinusoidal will be n1 equal to 6. Next, omega 2. This one, omega 2 is equals to 3 pi by 4. 3 pi by 4. So omega 2 equals to 3 pi by 4. That will be omega 2 by 2 pi is equals to 3 pi by 4 by 2 pi, which will be 3 by 8. Which will be 3 by 8. Then n2 is equals to 8. So here n2 is nothing but the fundamental period of the second sinusoidal. n2 is nothing but the fundamental period of the second sinusoidal. So if these are rational, n1 by n2 is rational, and what is the LCM? Why? Because we have to know what is the overall period. Overall period for this one is nothing but LCM of n1 and n2 will give the overall period. So the LCM of 6 and 8 will be 24. So capital N is equals to the fundamental period of the signal x of n. Here it is. N1 and n2 will be the fundamental periods for individual signals. Capital N will be the fundamental period of x of n. That will be LCM of n1 comma n2. That is 24 is the period of the signal x of n. Right? So next one, determine whether following signals is periodic or not. Determine whether the following signal is periodic or not. So here the signal is x of n is equals to cos pi by 4n and cos 2n. Simply here it is in the form of cos omega 1n plus cos omega 2n. So simple, omega 1 equals to what? Pi by 4. Omega 1 equals to pi by 4, which is equals to omega 1 by 2 pi. To find the fundamental period of the first sinusoidal, that will be omega 1 by 2 pi, which is equals to pi by 4 by 2 pi, which is equals to 1 by 8. Here it is a fundamental period of the first sinusoidal will be n1 equals to 8. So coming to the next one. So next fundamental period of this second sinusoidal, that is omega 2 equals to 2 only. Omega 2 equals to 2. That is omega 2 by 2 pi is equals to 2 by 2 pi, which is equals to 1 by pi. Right. So 1 by pi is irrational. It is irrational. 1 by pi is irrational number. So given signal x of n is aperiodic. The given signal x of n is aperiodic because one rational and one irrational. So here one irrational is there. So the given signal is aperiodic signal. Next classification is symmetric and anti-symmetric signals. Now they call as even and odd signals. Even signal and odd signal. A discrete time signal x of n. A discrete time signal x of n is called symmetric or even if x of minus n is equals to x of n. When the signal is said to be even or symmetric, then x of n is equivalent to x of minus n. Right? So x of n is called antisymmetric or odd signal if x of minus n is equals to minus x of n. Okay, if x of n is odd signal, then x of 0 is 0. That is the value of signal x of n at time t is n is equals to small n equals to 0. That will be 0 signal. Okay, at the origin the value will be 0 for odd signal. Okay, so any arbitrary signal can be represented as sum of even and odd signals. Any arbitrary signal can be represented as sum of even and odd signal components. That is x of n is equals to sum of even and odd signal components. Sum of even and odd signal components. So from the above properties of symmetry, then here x of minus n is equals to what? X of minus n is equal to xe of minus n plus xo odd components of minus n. So from this even symmetry and odd symmetry, we know x of minus n is equals to xe of plus n because even symmetry, and here it is odd symmetry. Now odd symmetry, xo of minus n is equals to minus xo of n, that is xo of n, right? So from that equation 1 and 2, even parts of the signal x of n is equals to, that is even parts of the signal x of n is xe of n is equals to 1 by 2 x of n plus x of minus n. Similarly, to find the odd parts of the signal x of n, that is xo of n is equals to 1 by 2 x of n minus x of minus n. So the last classification is causal and non-causal signals. Causal and non-causal signals. So what is causal signal? A signal is said to be causal if it is defined only for n greater than or equals to 0. If it is defined only for n greater than or equals to 0, then the signal is said to be causal. Otherwise, the signal is said to be non-causal. That is, the meaning of this one is the signal only defined in positive time. The signal defined only in positive time, then that signal is said to be causal. If it is not, then the signal is said to be non-causal. Along with that, anti-causal signal is also there. Anti-causal signal is also there. That is, the signal only defined for n less than 0. That means the signal is only defined in negative time. That is called anti-causal signal. So causal, non-causal and anti-causal, these are the classifications in this one. Okay. So examples of causal signals are x of n is equals to a power n e of n. We know u of n is equals to what? U of n is equals to 1 for n greater than or equal to 0, 0 for n less than 0. That means u of n is equals to 1 for n greater than or equal to 0. That is, u of n is defined only for positive time. So for positive time it will be 1. So a power n into 1 for positive time. Okay, for all values of n, then the signal is said to be causal. Similarly here also, x2 of n is equals to 1, 2, 5 minus 5. The sequence is given. So here, if there is no arrow represented under these samples, that means the default signal is starting from here only. N equals 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. That is, it is defined for positive time only. So these are the examples of causal signal. So coming to the non-causal signal examples, here it is x1 of n is equals to a power n u of minus n plus 1. We know u of minus 1 minus n plus 1. U of minus n plus 1 is equals to 1 for minus n1 minus n plus 1 greater than or equal to 0, 0 for less than 0. From this one, minus n plus 1 greater than or equal to 0. So from that one, it is only defined in negative term. Negative as well as this one. See here. So L less than 1. So it is defined both positive and negative term, so that the signal is said to be non-causal. Right? So here the signal is defined from positive 1, 0, minus 1 like that. So it is defined in both positive and negative axis. Similarly, x2 of n is equals to 1 minus 2, 5, 6 minus 5. Here the arrow represents, we know that n equals to 0. So these are the positive n, these are the negative n values. Okay. So it is defined both in negative and positive n. So the signal is said to be non-causal. These are the references followed for this lecture. Thank you.